That's a hard one. And you know, we all have a go-to place on the guitar. You know, I can tell you where mine is right away. It's, you know, it's that classic bend, you know, from the 4, you know. I think that's everybody's. So what you've got to do is you've got to often start in a different place. Like, so when you grab the guitar neck, instead of just grabbing that, you've actually got to think, I can't go there. It's like it's a forbidden zone. So you've actually got to get, just go somewhere where you don't normally start your journey, because then you're kind of tricking yourself into having to approach it differently. Because I can guarantee you, if you start on your go-to bend, the next thing you'll do will be your next go-to lick as well. So especially when it comes to recording, I actually set myself a task of not starting any solo on that session in the same position. And so once I've grabbed that 4 flat 5 bend that is, I've done it now. I've used up my quota. I have to think of something else, you know. So the starting point is imperative to me. And also, you know, building solos and writing songs and playing, one of the most important elements to me is the whole idea of light and shade. And what that light and shade doesn't just mean softer and louder. It also means faster and slower. It means more sparse, or playing the triplets, you know, 2 different feels. So there's lots of things you can do with this idea of light and shade, and it can be quite extreme. The other thing that I also recommend doing is playing with less distortion while recording. When you have the same level of saturation on the guitar, you automatically approach the guitar the same way. Like the sound of it's the same. This is the wisdom of having a few different kinds of guitars to play. Is, you know, if you grab a Telly style guitar or a twin humbucker or whatever, they actually have such a different signature sound that you will often find that you'll take your thinking a different place with them. So that's actually an important thing to do. And but I mean, there's people whose whole idea of playing is not so much about the shredding thing. It's more about creating melodies, and that's probably the best way. I mean, there's a lot to like about all these different styles of playing, but when you have melodic players, they usually come up with things that are way more memorable than people who can shred and play all this great stuff around the guitar neck, you know, gymnastically speaking, and have this great understanding of moving through keys and stuff. You know, but I often give the example, when you hear, when I've got somebody who's trying to get a melody happening on the guitar, I say, play me the vocal line to Whole Lot of Love. So, you know, we all know how it goes, you know. And when they think, oh, well, where is it? It starts here. And essentially, there's not much to it whatsoever. It's this really simple couple of notes that they're playing, but instantly you know the melody. Like it's so recognisable with this like 2 or 3 notes, and that in itself is a lesson in how to approach the guitar. You know, because if we approach the guitar strictly speaking as people who are looking for technique answers, that's not always the answer. Sometimes the answer can be, can you sing what it is you're playing? So once again, this light and shade idea might be that I'll say, so play your, you know, so you shred your first part, and then you have to think like a singer. And even though that's just like a simple line, it's probably a part of the solo that will have more of an instant hook, because, I mean, your man in the street listener is probably just listening to melodies more than he's listening to, you know, the academics of playing the guitar. So that's, once again, just another thing to put under your belt of like things to add to my list of tools that I can go to as a guitar player to create something different. You know, and once again, if somebody's just a singer and they're not a guitar player, they don't go where their hand takes them, they go where their voice wants to take them. So that could be a different starting point once again when it comes to approaching the start of the melody.